sent by the developer from the financial institution actually.
I'm also confused because I don't understand what you are asking me.
Okay, previously, when doctor you explain the cell to the cell that builds the graph, you created one in the development finance tech lecturer.
Okay.
Doctor, you explain at the moment they launch the cells. This is the point where the bridging finance come into the development finance.
Correct. After we convert the term loan to bridging finance.
Yes. And then inside yesterday's slide, the slide number 5, doctor got right the feature of bridging finance. And then one of it, he mentioned that bridging finance is given as a construction loan. And then, after the project planning has been approved and the loan also ended after the completion of construction work. So this is where I confused about when is actually the bridging finance is being released.
Now, what it means here, bridging finance will be released from time to time based on the third schedule of payment. Hang on. Okay, we have two things here, bridging finance and end finance. Okay, bridging finance to help construction, end finance to help purchaser. But end finance will be released to the developer based on the third schedule of payment. That means based on the percentage, how much the project has been completed, and then it will be released a bit by bit to the developer. So the developer has to pay the financial institution based on the amounts of money that they get from the third schedule of payment. Okay? So in order to pay the bridging finance, there is no schedule. If they have more money, they pay more. The purpose is to cut short the bridging finance. So under normal circumstances, because of the stages of the third schedule of payment, they cannot pay 100%. Usually because the money, coming in based on the stages of payment. So usually towards the end of the construction project, not towards the end of the unit completed. Towards the end of the construction project, and then usually they manage to pay the whole bridging finance. Because they get bit by bit. But all in all, the total they get for bridging finance is basically not for the whole development period. Because they pay bit by bit. So they only pay about 33%, about 1/3 of the total amount. That's what it means.
Okay, thanks, doctor. I understand now.
Okay.
Doktor, nak tanya.
Doktor.
Okay, macam Brian, you tanya dulu lah.
I also have a question regarding the. Doctor, can you hear me?
I don't know who's asking me now.
Brian.
Brian, okay, Brian, okay.
Also regarding the table, because the table showing that the developer are borrowing the loan of 10 million for purchasing the land, but another row saying that the total loan is 20 million, including the working capital. So my question here is it the working capital also can borrow the loan from the bank?
Yes,
for the item of the working capital?
Yes, both 20 million, 10 million for the site, 10 million for working capital, both are called or fall under term loan. Okay, the term loan to kickstart the project. If we don't have money, we cannot buy the land. We cannot purchase the land. And if you do not have money, we cannot also pay the employees, cannot do site clearance, cannot do initial infrastructure, cannot pay our staff, cannot do the site office. So all we need money. So working capital doesn't mean that 100% goes to working capital, goes to all the initial costs that we need to run the project. And the 10 million is definitely for the land, to purchase the land. but not necessarily 10 million. I'm giving you example only 10 million. It can be 5 million only, and then the balance of 10 million. So we have another 35 million. So it could be that way: 5 million for the land, and then 35 million for the working capital plus the rest of the costs. So that example only. Do not put in your mind that must be 50% of the 20 million. Not that way. I'm giving you example illustration. Because the land value here also we assume 10 million. It can be 20 million. It's 20 million and only 20 million left for the working capital. Something like that. Okay, Brian?
Okay, understood. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay.
Okay, Doctor, nak tanya last question. Okay, so let's say if the developer he got the loan of bridging finance of like 40 million 40 million. Dia terus dapat 40 million tu ke macam mana?
No, they have to redeem.
How they redeem it?
Based on the construction stage, but there is no special schedule like the third schedule.
Oh,
but,
I see.
They still can claim maybe 30% completed. Because usually when they have the term loan, some developers, they do not have enough money after that because the project is not so good. Then obviously they need bridging finance quickly. But some developers, out of the money they have, they still have balance. Then they will reduce the bridging finance. So, depend on any circumstances, depend on the situation. So basically, they can actually claim based on the progress. For example, those who do not have enough money, then even the 10% progress they start to claim already. But developers who are doing well, so maybe up to 50%, so they can claim, because they have money.
So mereka macam take a lump sum to 50%. Let's say they loan a 40 million, then they got money for it, then they lump sum until 20 million, baru mereka claim sekali for bridging finance.
Yes, can be like that.
Okay, no problem. Faham.
Doctor, I have a question. For the term loan, it's like, because it's from the buyer, right? Then is the concept is like this or not? The bank receives the loan.
Sejong.
No, sorry. N finance, sorry, N finance. Okay. Receive the money from N finance, because N finance normally start after sign the SPA, right? So then we can connect with the third schedule, because the bank receive money from N loan from the buyers. Then after getting the money, they give to the developer.
The bank receive money from buyer?
Because like they start after signing the SPA, then the buyers start to pay the bank amount already, right? Maybe for interest only at the initial period lah.
No, that is different. That is the contract between the buyers and the bank. I always say that no matter what happened, the contract exists between the buyer and the bank. Even if the developer run away, that's the contract. The contract exists between the buyer and the bank. Even the developer run away, and then we still have to pay the bank for the next 35 years.
Oh, so the N finance is actually it is the bank to the buyer. It's not the buyer to the bank.
No, N finance is the amounts of loan that has been released by the financial institution to the developer.
So is that under the third schedule one, according to percentage one?
In order to claim, developer to redeem that amount, the 90%, because 10% all they have already got, okay, from the purchaser. You pay the deposit, down payment. You pay direct to them. They get 10% and they put in their pocket. So now they expect to have another 90%. So we as purchaser, normally we do not have the balance of 90%. Because the unit we purchase may be too expensive, 700,000, 1 million, 1.5 million. not 30 ringgit or 40 ringgit. Okay, so they expect to receive the balance of 90% from the financial institution. But because of the rule that we have now on the third schedule of payment, they cannot get that 90% straight away. Not like before, like I mentioned. So they have to claim a bit by bit based on the progress.
Oh, okay.
So Ain'ni finance is the amounts of loans that has been released by financial institution to developers.
Okay, which is the by stages one now?
Yes, but
Okay.
not the amounts of repayments that the buyers is paying the bank. That's not bridging finance. In terms of definition, that's not bridging finance.
Okay. So what is the
Because
difference of the bridging finance and the Ain'ni finance? Because just now you say what Ain'ni finance is the what pay by stages, right? Hello.
yeah, go ahead. I don't understand
Yeah,
your.
the Ain'ni finance is the one paid to the developer by stages, right? The percentage one.
You have to understand the banks will pay 100% of the 90% of the loan. A lump sum.
Okay.
You sign S&P now, by 5 o'clock today, the bank will release 100% of the 90% loan to the developer.
Okay.
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 But the developer cannot get it. The developer cannot get it. They know that the money belongs to them. But through solicitor, it will be kept under a special account. So they're happy already because they know that the money belongs to them. So their duties now is to fulfill their promise. You see that?
Okay.
And then if they wait until the whole project's completed, so they do not have money. They cannot pay the bridging loan. When they do not pay the bridging loans, the interest will accumulate. So this is the concept of build then sell. Normally that way. But we are talking about the sell then build, so they have to claim from the third schedule payment.
Oh.
That way.
Okay. Understand.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any more?
Doctor, just now NK got asked you a question about the bridging finance, like release based on how many the developer need, right? In this case, for example, they borrow like 80% of the total loan amount, and then they maybe claim 10% only. The rest of the 90%, if they're not claimed, will the interest continue to grow?
I don't get what you mean.
What I mean here is that the total loan amount maybe they borrow is 10 million. Then maybe at the end of the day, they only claim for maybe the 1/3 of the total loan, like 33 billion, right? 3.3 billion. In this case, the remaining bridging finance that they're not redeemed can also got interest rate or not.
Difficult to understand your question. Try one more time.
Okay.
They borrowed 10 million.
Okay, they borrow 10 million. Okay. Maybe because the developer only redeem the bridging finance based on how many they need. If they have more cash themselves, then maybe redeem less the bridging finance, right?
Yes.
Okay. In this case, the remaining bridging finance that they're not redeemed, will they have the interest rate accumulate?
What do you mean the balance of bridging finance they do not claim?
Okay, for example, they borrow 10 million. They only use 4 million of the bridging finance. The 6 million they still don't get from the bank, but they already starting to have income flow, and then they start to pay back the bridging finance. The remaining of 6 million, do they have any interest rate charge on that?
No, if they do not get the money from the bank, why should they pay the interest rate?
Okay, got it.
No. But if they get the money from the bank, the 10 million, but on purpose, they do not use the money, but they get the money, put in their account, but they did not use, then they have to pay the interest. But out of 10 million, if they only take 5 million, and then they are not supposed to pay the interest for the balance of 5 million because they did not get the money. Okay.
Okay,
Now I
thank you.
understood your question. Okay, any more question? Before we go to the tutorial. No? Okay, now we go to the tutorial. For tutorial week 13, I want Nazhan, I want you to answer this question. Then don't worry about right or wrong. I'm okay. Even if you give wrong answer, I'm okay, as long as you try. I will love you if you try, you know. That's my style. But if you do not try, you keep quiet, you say, oh, I haven't had my lunch yet, I cannot answer, then I will start to hate you. My love gone. Fly to the air. When you fly to the air, then you cannot catch. Because the air is very high, you know, it's go very fast and you cannot, even you jump, you cannot catch. Sok Ling, why are you smiling?
No, doctor.
What do you mean by no?
Just now saya tak ada ketawa mah.
You tak ada ketawa, you are smiling, I say.
No, I'm not smiling.
Ketawa like you did just now, that is ketawa. Smiling is like this. Smiling. Okay, Nazhan, we go to whose screen? Is this your screen or my screen? Oh, my screen. Okay, so
My screen good?
you want to share the screen, Nazhan?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Can you see my screen, Doctor?
Yes, you see your screen. But before you start with your answer, I want you to give to tell us the framework because you are now the lecturer.
Okay. So now this is my framework for this question. So I will first will define the N finance first, which is buying an under construction property in Malaysia, otherwise known as a new development, means that the development will have a payment schedule. Next is payment that needs to be made to the developers depends on the stage of the development's completion. And then I will break all the stages into the 5 stages. The first one is signing of SPA. So upon signing the SPA, the property purchaser will need to immediately make 10% payment on the property from his own saving.
Oh, that's not the framework you are answering already. I need to see the framework. You have to understand the question first. What the question asks you to do?
It asks to illustrate how the approved housing loan is disposed.
So what do you understand with illustrate?
To first define.
To what?
To define first the definition of the finance.
Define is definition. Illustrate is different thing. MK. Can you illustrate? Can you illustrate how beautiful Lambia is?
What?
No, just I want to see. Do you understand the word illustrate or not?
Illustrate. Okay, in terms of illustrate, we have to present a photo, but I don't think I have a photo of Lavinia.
Doctor asked him to illustrate his girlfriend, then he can do a good job.
Sorry, Lavinia, what do you say?
Girlfriend just beside.
Illustrate his girlfriend, he'll do a good job.
I can't hear you properly. Or Lavinia, maybe you can illustrate how handsome MK is. The other way around.
Hey, Doctor, his girlfriend, then will be big problem.
Forget about his girlfriend or whoever. I want me to illustrate how handsome he is. How do you want to do that? Is it MK illustrate Lavinia or Lavinia illustrate MK?
Can't hear anything.
You prefer MK to illustrate? You prefer MK to illustrate or you prefer you illustrate MK?
Okay lah, Doctor. We back to former punya class boleh ya. Because illustrate here means we have to present a table, present a figure.
That's the thing I want to see. I want to hear. Okay, Nathan. That's the thing I want to hear, not definition. Okay, go back to the question. So now you understand the word illustrate?
Yes.
So how do you want to do that? Give us the framework.
Need to provide some
somewhat. Do you think that the one you have here is fall under illustration or under description? Which one?
I think a part of it is illustration and most of it are illustration.
Part of it illustration?
Part of it is illustration and most of it I answer the question.
Most of it you answer the question?
Yeah. Oh, I mean framework. Part of it is framework and
No, I'm asking you framework, okay, framework. But I'm asking you, are you illustrating the situation or are you describing the situation? You describe or you illustrate? That's my question.
Describe maybe.
You are describing. I'm not asking you to describe. This one you can get from the lecture notes. That's the dangerous things about answering my question. Try to understand properly. If you answer like this, you'll get only 50%. Let's say the answer, the total mark is 100%. The most you could get is 50%. Because you did not answer the question. Understand or not?
Yes, I understand.
Because my question, all of my questions are hot question. You know, UM call it hot. Hot because even if you have all all the lecture note in front of your face. If you do not answer the question, that means you do not answer properly. That's why I'm not worried about Tiru. You can copy, you can bring so many books, so many lecture notes. I'm okay with it. Some lecturer, they are talking about what happened if not lecturer, the UM itself. UM itself asks the lecturer, asks the faculty to find a solution to avoid student from copying between yourself, especially those who are staying together, MK, Min Yao, who else?
Likuan also.
You are sitting next to each other when you are trying the mock exam that day, the mock exam.
Yeah, because we are sitting in the living room.
So under UN's rules, you are copying. You are cheating.
Actually, Doctor, for last sem punya exam, to be honest, we are too busy to discuss.
No, I'm okay. That's why I said I'm okay. You want to bring 10 books also okay. Because my question is hot question. That means you have to think. You have to think, not to cut and paste. Even the diagram, if you cut and paste, you won't get marked. You have to redraw. To make sure that you understand. That's my style. But what I'm talking about in terms of cheating, not because of us as a lecturer, but UM itself. The thought management ask the faculty to find the way that, to check whether the students are cheating or not during the exam. Not from us, don't misunderstand, but from the UM top management. So when the lecturer found that, I know that you were staying together in the same house, but when one of the lecturer mentioned that MK, the leader of the cheating person, and then Min Yao, the secretary of the cheating group, and then Lee Guan, the supporter of the cheating group. Example only lah. Okay. So that thing become a discussion. You know, they discuss what happened to those who are staying together. They are answering the question next to each other. So if they want to copy, they copy the same notes. And then at the same time, they discuss. So that kind of things, the UM don't want it to happen. I'm okay. You want to discuss, you can discuss. But if you give me exactly the same answer, that means I can track that you are cheating. As long as you give me a different answer, I can see your understanding of the question. Be careful on that one. But don't worry about me. I mean the rest of the lecturer. So if they really follow the UM rules, I'm also following the UM rules. I don't want you to cheat. But my question is a hot question. You have to think. If you have 10 students, that means 10 students should come from different angles, different view. But all the 10 students are following the lecture notes, I'm fine. But if you cut and paste, that means you do not answer the question. This is what Nazhan is doing now. You are explaining. Okay, Nazhan. Okay, I'm okay as long as you try. That's what I mean. You try already. It's good. That's why I'm trying to correct it before you do it in the exam. Okay. Okay, Nazhan, go back to your answer.
Okay.
Okay, now the way that you discuss here is more on description. You try to describe the process, but you do not illustrate how the things happen. So let's say you want to change it now from description. Now you want to change it to illustration. How do you want to do that? Other student, you can help Nazan if you want to.
Okay, so obviously it's about the percentage lah in the third schedule of payment. So in the third schedule of payment, we can list it out like a table. With the for me lah, I list it out like 3 columns. So first column is about the stage from 1, 2A to 2F, then 3, 4A, and 4B. Then second is about the particular. So like you are writing now. So upon the signing of SPA, blah blah blah, all kind of things. Then the third column I will say about it is about 10%. So this is the 10% where the developer will get upon the signing of SPA from the customer.
So you still get 50%. You still get 50%. Okay.
Why?
You are not illustrating. Someone else.
With the help of diagram or table?
Table, that is part of illustration, I agree. But the way that you answer just now, you are not illustrating.
Okay.
Can someone else answer? Ikwan, are you here, Ikwan? Ikwan? Run away already?
Yeah, I'm here.
What do you think? How do you want to illustrate?
Illustrate. I don't know. Can I show my screen?
When you what's your comment? Is it Luna? Are you Luna?
Yes.
Okay, Luna.
Maybe when you use the software,
Maybe what? I can't hear properly. Too noisy, very noisy. Say again.
Maybe when you use software.
I still can't hear. Okay, anyone got answer? Faik now. Faik.
Yes, doctor.
What are you doing? Eating?
No. Apa ni? My computer hang. It's quite late. Basically, my answer seems.
Why always hang? That day you want. Why always hang? That day you want to show the Excel and then also hang.
That day? Bila?
When you try to show Excel calculation, yourself or someone else? Who's that?
Someone else.
Afiq.
Who?
Afiq.
Oh, Afiq. Sorry, I thought you. Okay, now you. Okay, you try to explain. Your comment.
My answer seems like Nazhan. Yeah, basically saya buat macam dia buat. Saya tak illustrate. Saya tak faham soal. Bukan tak faham. Tak perasan bukan tak illustrate tu. I just describe.
Tak perasan. Kalau dalam exam hall, you tak perasan soalan, then there's nothing much I could say. Before you answer, you must understand the question not only for this subject, especially valuation. But you don't have valuation, right? Business valuation you have, right?
Yep.
Be careful with the question. If you need to sketch, then you have to sketch. Do not read through and then start to answer. Oh, I know already, and then you'll be in trouble. Takes the first 5 minutes to sketch what the question need you to do. But I noticed that when you get the question in the exam hall, when you get the question, before the invigilator asks you to answer, you already check. You select a bit slowly. Oh, I know this answer. Luckily, I spotted this question and come out. I'm lucky. The topics, maybe you are lucky because the topics come out, but the answer may not be correct if you do not understand the question. Come on, you are in the final year already. Next year, you are going to join the professional. After that, you tend to forget me. I'm okay. Bye-bye. This old man, I don't need you anymore because I graduate already. I'm okay. At least I'm doing my duty to produce you as professional. That's my duty. Whether you want to remember me or not, that different issue. Okay. So, any answer from the rest?
Doctor, I do something like a timeline thing.
Timeline?
It's hard for me to explain. Do you mind I share screen? I use timeline and then I put explanation and also use table together. So actually I got two illustration.
I cannot see your screen.
Nasan, you need to stop sharing first. This is how I do for the illustration. And then after that, I explain it and also include a table for the construction stage. Basically, for the timeline, something like timeline. This part I divided into three parts. The first one is the signing of SPA, and then second one is the construction stage, which include a lot of breakdown of the percentage. And then this later will be further discussed in the table. And then the last one is the defect liability period, which the last 2.5 and 2.5%.
Okay, now you got 80% only.
Sorry?
Now you have 80%.
Okay. So the rest 20% is it explanation?
No, illustration.
Illustration. This is the table I insert.
Yeah, I know. This table and the first table, you get 80%.
Okay.
Where's the rest of 20%? You want to make it 100% now?
Also through illustration, is it, Doctor?
Also what?
Through illustration.
Yes, the question asked you to illustrate.
Okay.
I can see that you have all those things. Nazar also have all those things, but the way that you explain is not answering the question. Because I want to see how far do you understand.
Okay.
Not to cut and paste, then you don't have to learn. I don't have to have a lecture, just give you lecture notes, then, okay, everyone, you just read.
Is it the flow chart?
That one also part of the table like this.
Okay.
You want to show the flow chart, also can, but you still have 80%. Come on. The class. You already had a lunch. I haven't had a lunch myself because I just finished a class with second year. But you already have a lunch, but now you cannot answer. Malulah sama saya. Saya belum makan, you all sudah makan. Ada yang belum makan ke sini?
Semua dah makan lah, I think.
Semua dah makan, you should be able to answer. I'm learning from you. Not you're learning from me now. I'm learning from you. I'm a tired person. I'm a tired student because I haven't had my lunch.
The graph of the construction period.
The same thing. The same thing. 80%.
Any tips?
No tips lah. Final year already. Also one tips ah.
Ya, final year pun.
First year okay lah.
Final year pun masih bodoh mah, tak boleh cakap macam ni. Dr. Shira got give answer inside the chat box.
No, she has to answer. She has to talk. You're talking
Okay.
now, discussing.
Shira cakap, Shira.
I'm not going to see any chat box. Shira, you answer. Where's Shira? I can see that you have to you join maybe one handphone, one computer. I can see you, you know. But ask you keep quiet. Shira. I cannot hear anything. Can you hear Shira's voice?
Tak boleh.
She said her mic is not working.
And the other one, your handphone? Because I can see that you used two ways of joining us.
Hello? Okay. I nak suggest maybe we can include example how much amount they borrow and show how much amount release stage by stage.
Yes, now I'm falling in love with you, Shira.
Wah, thank you. Jangan panggil saya dah. Saya takut.
Takut apa?
Takut.
Apa yang takut? In public. Like this, everyone hear that I'm falling in love with you. Apa yang takut?
Bukan. Saya takut kena tanya. Sebab jarang tak betul.
Takut kena tanya, ingatkan takut falling in love.
Bukan.
Oh, so you are willing to fall in love lah? Tak takut?
Apa salahnya? Saya lecturer. Nanti saya jawab kasi test lah.
Okay. So that's the way to illustrate. 10% out of what? 40 million is how much? 15% is how much? And then during deferred liability period is how much? And then that amount will be split into 2.5% for how long? 25% for how long? And then towards the end, the whole 40 million will actually be disbursed. Nazhan, is it clear?
Clear, Doctor.
I'm also falling in love with you, Nazhan, because you understood already. Who else want me to fall in love? Show your hand. MK, I don't want to. Okay. Lee Guan, are you okay?
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's the way to answer when we say illustrate. Not only for this question. If we have other question that come up with illustration, then you have to think how to illustrate. Flowchart also can.
Macam ni macam ni Tutor masuk, if the question ask illustrate, kita cuba bagi kita punya jawapan dalam gambar, table atau graph sajalah. Cuma kurangkan perkataan paragraf macam ni kan, atau apa?
Liguan which
Jangan
gadget?
kau sama dengan saya.
Which gadget are you using? You also join, with two gadget. I can notice.
Yes, I'm using one. The one got camera is my laptop, and then the one I now using is my handphone. My handphone actually, because my mic of my laptop actually went wrong, so I used two account to join.
Okay. So no wonder I have 25 students now. So basically, if we deduct two of you, Shira and Liguan, we have 23, and deduct myself, so we only have 21 students out of
32, bro.
Huh?
32.
32. But
22. 22.
Oh, 22.
Gitu.
Very good. Full attendance, 22. I like it. Okay. So that's the way that we illustrate. Then I don't think we have to go into detail because Nazhan already given, and then the answer, and then Minya also giving the answer just now. So basically the same thing. The way that you want to interpret the question is by looking at the keywords there. I'm not falling in love with Ikwan because he said just now he doesn't know anything.
No, I said to show my screen, but
you want to share your screen?
Lepas tu pun suruh minta orang lain pula. Malas lah.
Mana I dengar, you tak cakap pun, you want to share your screen. But you said was, I don't understand.
Tak apalah.
Merajuk.
Okay lah, I also fall in love with you lah. I myself to fall in love with you.
Okay.
Okay, so now anything to ask about this part before we go to the next one? Anything?
Doctor, actually I have one question. For the first 10% payment given directly by the buyer, that one is directly into the developer account or also through the HDA account one? The 10% down payment.
Go straight to developer's account.
Only the 90% will be through the HDA account.
Yes.
So just confirm. Let's say the financial institution, they will straight release 90% to the HDA account, but the solicitor will only release step by step in accordance to the construction stage, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Doctor.
Doctor, for the question just now, so we still need to start with the definition of end finance and then proceed to illustrate, right?
That the plus point you will get, the plus point. If you don't put, it's also okay. Not much different.
Okay.
But if you do not illustrate, that's the main thing. You fail to answer the question. Okay, shall we go to the next tutorial?
There is a second question for this tutorial.
Oh, got second question.
Yeah, betul.
I forgot already. What's the second question? About the right and duties. That one I think you can read through lah. This is not direct question. So what keywords that you have to see here?
Discuss.
Yes. When the keyword is discuss, what are you supposed to do?
Pros and cons.
Yes. Not cut and paste all from the lecture, not.
Although I just wondering, because here I want to discuss the right and duties. How we gonna write the pros and cons?
You have to think. I want to see you understand or not.
Okay.
That's why I put discuss. I do not put there list down the right and duties. List down the right and duty, then you can cut and paste. Because you know, online there is so many ways that you want to copy. But the wrong depends on if you did it wrong in terms of just copying anything without answering the question, then I'll say bye-bye to you. You break my heart. So do not break my heart. Keep me loving you forever. Okay? Cisam? Cisam? You want to break my heart or not?
No. I don't want to break your heart and also don't want to fall in love with you.
Oh, that's very bad, very bad. Very bad.
Then I would just want to ask, just now the question being asked and discussed, I really can't find any the cons of the right and duty of the borrower and financial institution. How we can discuss it. There's really no the cons for the rights and duties.
Where you cannot find the cons?
Because they're just like statements saying what.
That's why you have to understand the statement. If you ask me now about the pros and cons of MK, I can answer straight away now. I can answer straight away.
Hey bro, I want to hear.
You want to hear the cons about MK?
I want to hear how you think about the cons of me. Because I heard too much compliment already. I want to try hear about the cons.
Who give you compliment?
So much people. When I grew up, so much people.
Not from me, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so we are not perfect, okay? We are not perfect. So the same thing for the system that we are using. Real estate finance system, the third schedule of payments, the way that the bank assessing the loan eligibility, all of them are not perfect. Must have cons that you have to think about.
But like let's say the first right is right to access information that would affect the borrowing decision. So of course the pro is that like the borrower gets to make an informed decision because now they know exactly what all the documents are. But what kind of con is that? Why is that?
The con is that maybe the bank takes time to give you the answer, but at the same time you want it quickly, and then make you think that the bank is useless, and then you go to a different bank. Easy, isn't it? Why you want to scratch your head? So simple.
Because that's the situation. Okay.
That means I can see the exam with you as well. We see who's going to get higher mark. We sit together. Okay. I want to beat you, okay? During that day, I want to sit in the exam as well. And then I will mark my own answer to see who's get a higher mark. Do you agree? You cannot mark my answer, but I will mark my own answer. At the same time, I mark your answer. Is it okay?
Sure, doctor. Up to you.
Just a joke, okay? No such thing. Okay, now we go to second question. So, the keywords for the second question just now for week 13 is discuss. So we have so many question about discussing. Johnny?
Yes, doctor.
Is that your son at the back?
He's my little brother.
Oh, little brother. I thought your son. Okay, I'm surprised. Okay, now we go to Sorry Johnny, sorry. Joanne, sorry
Okay.
Just a joke. I know that that's your little brother. Okay, now we go to the second question. V14, who's going to answer? Or you want me to call you? Let me choose lah. I close my eyes first. Can you see that I'm closing my eye?
Yeah, not opening your cam, Doctor.
That's all. You cannot see. I'm closing my eyes. Ini peeping ni, nampak. Closing camera also nampak. I'm closing my eye. Okay, now I want who else I haven't asked here. Got a few, but I want Cisam lah. Cisam, you answer question.
Okay. I share my screen.
Share your screen.
Okay. For tutorial 14, right? This is the question. Discuss. And I didn't put any cons on my answer.
You did not put, that means you are not discussing. You get only 70 or 60% of the answer.
Because I just first define and then discuss the process, and then no cons for it.
I don't think you are discussing, you are describing.
I'm discussing.
No, the way that I can see here, first and foremost, go up again. First and foremost, sentence, paragraph number 3, the developer will approach the financial institution to apply the development loan. This is accompanied by presenting the project plans and timelines. Then bank will review the application and ensure the developer meet the requirement of forces. Okay lah, part of the discussion. Can consider discussion lah, but not full discussion.
And
okay.
Then I give the example for the process, how much the developer need, and then got the 10 stage of the installment, what is the amount being paid on the every stage of the installment.
Okay, you are also illustrating. From discussing, you are also illustrating. Okay, go down again.
Go down again, no more already.
No more, and then I'll give you 55.
But actually, this question is, I think for me lah, I think it's quite difficult. I try my best.
Difficult. All of my questions is difficult. How come? How dare you say that all my questions are difficult? All the time, for the last 10 weeks, you say difficult.
The question is so hot, high order thinking, my one is low. I try my best to explain the process already.
Okay lah, I can give you 55.23%.
Cannot lah, at least 80 lah.
Oh, 0.23%. 0.23% is also very important, you know, to increase your PNGK. Does it make any difference? 55% on the dot and 55.23%. Which one is better?
80 is better.
Okay, how to answer this question? Can the class help? Chisam?
Chisam, you move to your first paragraph first. Let everybody see your answer also can. Then we know how to support you.
Hey, Sam, you the framework Sam.
That framework is a definition, and then I explain the process, then I give the example.
Oh.
Really like that lah. Because I can't think about the cons really.
Did you describe how the loan is fully repaid?
I got mentioned the okay, let's say that the same need not same developer need 10 million, and then the LVR is up to 80%. So the developer can only borrow 8 million, and then as agreed on the as agreed by the
Sam. Sorry. What is LVR? LTV or LVR?
LVR, loan to value ratio.
Then cover you letak LVR. Bukan
LVR?
LTV meh? Loan to value.
Loan to value ratio.
Okay. Okay. Boleh.
Let's say that they only can borrow up to 8 million because the LVR
correction.
Yes.
Normally we say LTV, okay? No new.
Cannot say LVR. Okay. So
yeah, it's something like I love you. You know, you put I love you, and suddenly you use acronym IUV. It's wrong. Nobody understand. Have you ever used that to your girlfriend? I love you, still I love you lah. Correct or not?
Normally girlfriend say to me what I wouldn't say to her.
Very bad boy. Okay, Ligon, are you happy with his explanation just now?
Okay. No need happy. Just minor error only, so it's not big deal. Okay.
Okay, how to make the answer perfect, almost perfect? How do you want to answer this question?
Just adding the pros and cons.
You can see this paragraph correct or not? Help me check because I don't really sure about it. This paragraph.
You explain lah. You want to read lah.
Add on the end finance, the breaking stage that the developer can claim the end finance, and then once they claim the end finance, they can use the amount to repay the bridging finance also.
So you means that the payment from the third schedule can also cover the BL lah?
Yes.
Any other comment?
Maybe
I think you can add on the process of getting the BL like I asked just now. So for example, you get like you say how many is your loan again? 10 million.
8 million.
8 million. Okay, so 8 million maybe you say developer tends to claim be 2 million at a stage for the cost of the construction, just the cost of construction. This is under BL1. So you can add on of that lah.
So
this is part of the process disburse the loan to the developer.
So what you means are like developer need 8 million and then got the 3 stage of the construction. First stage.
Okay.
Claim 2 million.
How many stage is your call? Whatever you like. For example, you want 4 stage, 5 stage also can.
Okay.
Like that lah.
Okay. Like that lah. Doctor give comment lah.
Go ahead, bro. After that, I'll give my final comment.
Okay.
If something is wrong, completely wrong, then I will interfere. But as long as acceptable, then go ahead with the discussion. And then I will give you my final comment. Okay? So keep discussing.
Maybe pros and cons.
Okay, I think for cons, you can speak about the interest rate, especially for bridging loan. It's actually the interest rate is obviously higher than personal loan.
Like this one.
This one is cost already, for the bridging loan.
The pros you can say like regardless of the financial background of the developer, they normally will still get the finance loan from the financial institution because they want to maintain their liquidity of themselves. between the company.
Why? Can you repeat again?
Regardless of the
financial background.
Yeah, of the developer. They will still obtain the loans from them, even though they have a strength, they are cash rich developer, because they want to maintain their liquidity to prevent like urgency happen.
Who want to prevent the liquidity problem? The bank.
Developer.
Yeah, I try to write down. Developer will still this is because
this is one of the illustration, and then this because I'm talking about the pros of the bridging finance as a term loan, which means that because like Tutor explained before, normally a developer wouldn't unable to fully subsidize the expenses during the construction period. So this two of loan provide provide the financial to them, which allow them to bridge the working capital of the construction, which means like they can the member is bridge here the bridge. You get what I mean or not?
Almost bar.
Or simple words is they borrow loans to help them sustain the cash flow before sufficient income is generated.
Regardless the financial background, what is the point of this?
Which means that it's either risk developer or the developer has less cash in hand that also will obtain loan.
I thought
because
that
like okay, I continue what Ming said, because like Ming already said, they want to bridge the working capital because until the official cash flow come in, the positive cash flow come in. So like Ming say, so this bridging loan and term loans allow the developer to bridge the gap between the positive cash flow and then the gap where they start to give expenses. So this allows to maintain their liquidity just in case anything happen to their company. This is one of the reason why they do. But the most important is to bridge the working capital between the positive cash flow coming.
I think if Lee Guan become the banker for this project, the bank will bankrupt already.
Salah kan? Macam ni masuk total.
Mana boleh?
Tak boleh meh?
Regardless the financial background.
Actually, I think financial background is a thing lah. Another thing we have to consider is the profitability of that particular project.
No. What I mean is, regardless of the developer itself, they will still get. Not saying from the perspective of the bank saying that regardless of their financial, I will still give them the loan.
I previously thought that.
Okay. It's my mistake.
So I misunderstood. Then you talk about the bridge the working capital. I know already.
It's from the perspective of developer, regardless of their financial strength itself, they will still get the loan from the financial institution. Okay. Right now. And okay, right now I can become a banker right now already. Kan, Tutor.
Take out regardless the financial background. If you are the bank, you are the first to go, not the developer.
Apa bukan saya punya money orang punya deposit money
Nowadays become the managing director or the CEO of the company, you are also responsible. You know, if your staff, do let's say practice bribe, for example, not the staff will be sued. The MD will be sued. That kind of thing. So the person who signed the report will be responsible. Not that easy nowadays. Otherwise, SPRM come to you. How come very good bank like this, after you appoint League One to be the managing director, and then the company bankrupt already, and then they start to check. Oh, because financial background is not important. Consider that as one of the criteria. Then they'll bring you to the police station straight away, or to SPRM prison straight away. Okay. So let me ask you, what are you supposed to include when you discuss this kind of question? Give me 3 things that you are supposed to include first.
Destination, process, and then pros and cons.
No, process is process lah. 3 major things that you must include, otherwise you do not answer the question.
Flowchart.
No, I said 3. Flowchart. 3 sections that you have to come up with. What are the 3 sections?
Loan for land purchasing. Okay, then we talk about working capital. Finally, we talk about financing, cover the bridging loan.
Give me 3 sections.
What?
3 sections. I disagree with you.
Post, pre-construction, construction, and post-construction.
Use the normal words that we are normally using.
Initial development, initial phase, middle phase, and then construction. Initial phase, construction phase, and
end phase.
Redemption phase, end phase.
That is correct if you talk about property development. Property development.
Okay.
I'm not teaching you property development. That one, Dr. Wan is teaching you. Now we are doing financing.
So application, and then redemption, and then repayment.
Sure. You want me to tell you?
3 sections, I say. We are doing.
But still cannot come up with the answer.
Term loan, bridging loan, and finance.
Yes, who said that?
Brian.
Brian. Mana Brian?
Oh yes, doctor here.
I'm starting to fall in love with you again. The second time. Whether you love me or not, that's a different issue. But I'm starting to love you now. So that's the answer. You must include those 3 sections in your discussion. You discuss about term loan and how the term loan is converted to bridging finance and how the end finance come into the picture. And then you can show the disbursement of the loan like we have discussed before. And then you create pros and cons. Then you got the answer. So easy, like ABC. Like eating kacang putih, you know. Put in your mouth, then you can swallow straight away.
Tell you are reflecting me as a kid who is studying in the kindergarten.
No, I'm not treating you like a kindergarten children, but I'm testing your understanding as a professional. Okay. Otherwise, there is no point for you to learn. At school, you learn about all the guided things. Mathematics, got formula, and then got the answer. Physics, also got formula, you know. So at university, we focus on real estate because you are doing real estate. So we want you to grow and then graduate in real estate and you know how to practice. Because if you become a real estate consultant, like I always say, real estate finance is very important. Real estate market research is also important. But if you want to be a valuer, focus on valuation, then this part is not that important. But I always say, between valuation and research and consultancy, both can get registration. But with the knowledge to become real estate consultant is much better and very demandable out there, especially in the corporate world. For the corporate, when they assess you, they do not assess how good you are in valuation. They do not assess that way. But if you want to join valuation company, then they will assess how good you are in valuation. But valuation, usually they stick to valuation company, unless if you want to have your own company later on, then it's okay. But if you want to have to join a corporate company, then research and consultancy is very important because you learn how to do feasibility study, how the development works, how the financing involved, and then how the pros and cons that you'll be having if you choose, you make a decision. Because when we deal with real estate development, the decision we made is irreversible because it's involved a lot of fund. And then we have to do that in advance, at least 1 year in advance. Once you make a decision, you cannot reverse. You cannot say that, oh, I'm wrong. I'm a kindergarten still learning at that time, then you will be having problem. Because you have to make a decision in advance, and then that decision cannot reverse, once you make a decision. But if you do valuation, it's okay. Oh, it's wrong. It's just a matter of doing adjustment. We increase 10%, and your colleague say, no, too high, and then you put down 5% lah, 5% acceptable. As long as you love me, then we are okay lah, kau team lah 5%. So something like that, if you do valuation. So if you do research and consultancy, it's more challenging. And then once you have experience in research and consultancy, you are demandable by corporate company. But both can have a registration. So do not misunderstand. You want to be a registered valuer, then you have to do valuation only, or agency only. You want to be a registered agent. Research and consultancy also, you can have the same thing. And then your knowledge is, very wide as compared to valuers or estate agency. So you find this, whether my statement is true or not once you join the market, so you know. Okay, so that's the answer. And then you come with pros and cons for those three things you have discussed. And then you come with pros and cons. Then you got 99.9% already. I cannot say 100% because of the mistake, when you write, grammatical error, spelling mistake. So I deduct 1%. I give you 99.9%, 0.1% I deduct. Okay. Anything to ask? Do you have test, right, at 4 o'clock?
No.
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 That means, the other group, I think.
But we have class.
We have class.
Yeah.
Okay, on Friday, I don't have a question yet, to be honest. I don't know what to ask you. But on Friday, I'll post a question at 10 o'clock. Maybe earlier than that, but you can only enter at 10 o'clock because I will make the system open for you at 10 o'clock. Then you have to submit by 12 o'clock. I'll try to make a question as simple as I can. then you try to budget your limit of time to 1 hour or 1 hour and 15 minutes. Try to play around that, and then if you think that you have enough time, then you can double check, add some more info, but do not wait until 2 minutes before 2 hours. If you cannot submit at that time, I'm not going to accept. So I want you to test on for the final exam. I can accept because it doesn't involve UM at the moment. The final exam will involve UM. If you are late like that, even if you make an appeal, then you'll be in trouble. So in order to learn of the final exam, so better make sure that you know how to. You must submit the answer not towards the end of the given period, given hours. Okay. Any other question? Any other question? Chisham.
Yes.
You said you don't want to fall in love with me. Why? Is it because I'm not good? I'm not beautiful enough for you?
You don't open the camera. How to fall in love with you? I don't want
Okay,
to fall in love with you online. Yeah.
Any other question?
No.
If other lecturers see my lecture,
I have a question.
See my lecture, I'll be in trouble. How come talking about love during class? Like you know, I'm joking, right?
Yes.
Good, good. Okay.
Who not allowed to fall in love with anybody? Well.
Sorry, say again. Who said that?
Fall in love is prohibited in school.
We are in university already.
Although it's a school.
My first love when I was at university, you know. When I was in first year, first sem, I fall in love already. Nobody stopped me. How dare you say that?
They can't share the experience.
You bukan masa tu you bukan dalam UM kan, you takkan university reading kan, tak sama mah. Situ boleh mah, sini tak boleh mah. UM haram lah, tak boleh.
Betul tak?
Rasa lah, mungkin itu UM punya act ada tulis lah dalam first schedule, tak tahu.
That was my first love.
First schedule.
My wife is my 15, the number 15 already.
Oh, so Tutor, you fall in love with foreigner, Mas Saleh.
Hey, I don't want to tell you lah.
Hey, last class already, bro.
You know that I'm still recording. I want to stop recording now.
By the developer from the financial institution actually.
I'm also confused because I don't understand what you are asking me.
Okay, previously, when you explain the sell to the